Welcome to Saltwater Noob's review and use of a Wi-Fi outlet that I bought off of Amazon. It's $39, and for $39, totally recommend this one. This is actually the box it came in. It has 4 power outlets and then 4 USB outlets. You can control it using your phone, you can control it using Alexa, and you can control it using Google Home, I believe, as well. I don't have Google Home, or whatever Google calls it, but it does work with Alexa quite well. I say, Alexa, turn on my main lights, and it'll turn on my main aquarium lights. As far as a controller goes, or a Wi-Fi surge protector, I mean, I'd almost give it 5 stars, except for the fact that sometimes if you accidentally hit the power button, turn the whole thing off, physically hit the power button on the controller or surge protector, it takes a while to reboot and all that stuff. And like sometimes you're like, hey, I need to turn this light off, or I need to turn something off. And if you have a life support system dedicated to it, like myself, when I used it for my aquarium, it has to work, and it has to be able to turn on and off when you need it to. That'd be my only gripe. It always worked when I needed it to, as far as once I had it set up and didn't like monkey with it. So basically, you can take this thing and set it up using a timer. So it has a 30-second, plus or minus 30 seconds within the timer is supposed to go off. So if you wanted your aquarium lights to come on, I used it as a poor man's aquarium controller, basically. So I used it to turn my lights on, my main lights on at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then they would turn off at 5 p.m. or 1700 hours. It uses military time on the controller, and I would just set that, and you can set as many as you want for each outlet. So say you wanted to run your protein skimmer for an hour, or say you wanted to run, I necessarily wouldn't say a dosing pump on this, because it's 30 seconds here or there. It usually was right on the money, but sometimes it was like 5 seconds off. I would not run anything that you like had to be precise. I would feel comfortable running. I did run some wavemakers on it for a while, and I set those up for every 30 minutes to go on and off and alternate between the two, and then sometimes have them on at the same time. But it worked great when that came. Also, I do my main lights, I do my moon lights, and they all had timers on them. I also did my protein skimmer, so that if I was dosing anything, I just hit the button and the protein skimmer was off, and didn't have to worry about unplugging it. And then I used the 4th plug as when I did water changes. That I would do water changes, and I would have to plug the pump in to be pumping the water in for it, and I would just plug that in, and instead of touching electricity with my bare hands, I would do that, and then just hit the button on my phone or tell Alexa to turn the pump off, turn switch 4 off, or whatever it was named. It worked great. So here's actually how I have it currently set up right now. And you can see it down there at the bottom of the screen. And I apologize for the lighting. I apologize for me moving around. I'm still learning all this stuff. I just want to get this a review of this fantastic product out there. This is my quarantine tank. It's pretty messy right now because I kind of had to shift some things around and clear some things out due to the Thanksgiving Day holiday. My wife's like, hey, I need this out of here, so I moved some stuff around. So anyways, basically, I've got it set up right now to turn my main lights on. This is me attempting to show things, and I'm about to show you here how it works on the phone. If I can get it to zoom in correctly, I think it didn't work here, and we're gonna switch to another view here. So this is the app. So you just click on the app, and then it pulls up your actual power strip. There'll be multiple ones if you had them. I just use the USB, just leave it on, I don't care. There's the 4 plugs, and you can see them at the bottom. And I'm going to turn the light on here and show you how fast it pretty much works. So as soon as I pretty much hit the button, it's like, what, 2 seconds? And it pretty much works. So 1, 2, see, 3 seconds maybe it came on, and then hit it again, off. And then, so you can see, here's my timer, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I think 5 p.m. And then it says 5 p.m. You can also do military time as well. So the other one I have on there is for my wavemaker. first, in conclusion, first is the price. I mean, for $40, you get a lot of things packed into one. For $20, you can get a 2-plugged digital timer, and you can't control it with your phone. You can't control it with your Alexa. You know, who knows? Sometimes, depending on what it is, how you can control it. Also, the ease of use. I mean, you've got the app on your phone, so you just pull it up. You can turn things on and off with your phone. You've got the timers, so you can set any timer, as many as you want per plug. As far as I know, I don't know of any limit, to be honest with you. I can look into that if you want to put that in questions below. Then you can hook it. You can have your Alexa and Google both tap into it as well, and just say, "Hey, Alexa, turn on my aquarium." Those types of things. And then the other last thing is basically it's the poor man's aquarium controller. I mean, you can do your lights very, very easily with your lights. Moon lights, main lights, doesn't matter. You can also, I didn't mention this before, but you can also do really low wattage things. The Neptune and also the Reef Keeper, there are certain plugs on those that you can use for low wattage things, and then the other plugs, if they're really low watts, 5-6 watts, it may not turn off and on. This is going to turn, you're going to hear a click on and a click off. I mean, you hear it. And so you can do really low wattage things, such as my protein skimmer, which is just an air pump, running the air pump on this. My Neptune Apex wouldn't turn it off. It was pulling so little wattage, it wouldn't turn it off unless I put it on a certain, plug. I think it's plug 4 or plug 8. This one, it'd do it fine, do it great, without any trouble. The other thing is wave makers. You can set it to do wave makers. There's so much you can do with this for your aquarium for the price. I don't think you can go wrong. Thanks for listening, and like and subscribe. Give me some feedback on this, what you'd like me to do differently, some reviews you'd like. I've got a ton of just different things coming up. Just shout something out. I don't have a lot of lights or anything, but I do have a lot of just tips. Thanks again.